Guys, today we're finally starting account reviews, or rather like my own rendition of account reviews, which is pretty much like the same thing, but I want it to be a little bit more long-term. I want to be able to work more one-on-one with a lot of my audience, a lot of my community, and kind of like watch step by step. So this is actually really good because of how I laid everything out. What do you mean, EO? What do you mean laid everything out? I'm going to put it up and I'm going to bring it up to screen so that you guys can see everything yourselves. So let's go over this, right? I started account reviews, or rather I kind of like loaded this up in order to do the account reviews. And so basically what I'm doing here is I want to be able to work way more one-on-one with a lot of my community, a lot of my audience, because there are more people that think like me about the game or just want a little bit more help, right? My job is not to pilot their account. My job isn't to do everything for them and then like proceed and like let them go off into the wild, right? And I also kind of don't like how I've had account reviews done for me, not from everyone, of course. I have a lot of good friends that are in the community from either of the games, either gacha games, that do this kind of stuff for me. But when it comes to like the general account review, I really don't feel like you get any benefit me looking at your account, telling you like the best thing or what you should work on, and then just you're done. I kind of feel like if we do this step by step, maybe like once a week, twice a week, whenever the free time is, it's a little easier for you to understand, because some players don't really have an issue building the teams or building the characters. Some players have issues playing the actual teams or getting more familiar with the characters, and usually having like a one-on-one or a sit down with them kind of works in their favor. So if that happens to be you, then by all means, you can sign up for this too, then I'm doing it. But here's what's inside of my Discord right now. Are account reviews sub only? Yes, account reviews are subscriber only. So there's two ways that you can get your account review from me. It's either going to be a Twitch subscription or a Discord subscription. Typically, I would tell you that any of the memberships, YouTube membership, Twitch membership, or Twitch subscription, or the Discord membership can do it. I'm trying to consolidate and like uniform where all of the external money comes from, right? All the subscriptions come from. Ideally, I'm looking for Discord memberships because it's treated more like Patreon, but I accept YouTube or Twitch specifically for like the account review stuff and whatnot, right? Because I know how it is, but I'm leaning towards the Twitch stuff. So like for now, let's just kind of stick to one or the other, and then I'll figure it out. Like after this month, I'll figure it out, because they're not open just yet. I got to go through all these first, and then I'm going to open up apps again. It's just a thing that we do to keep everything a little bit more organized, and I'm late. I'm a month late. So that's my bad, right? But ideally, here's what we're doing, right? All you guys were doing was pretty much sending me a screenshot of your page, so I kind of knew what was going on, and then you're telling me what you want to work on. So I gave an example right here for my own stuff just to make up some stuff, but we're actually going to look at Framzo's today. And then Framzo gave us like the perfect what we needed pretty much look at. Framzo is going to be on the EU server. They started playing early February, so the account is pretty new. Not so new anymore. This is, you know, coming up to a good like 6 months or so, but good investment, right? They just want a quick look at the account characters. I don't need to do any of the content for them. They're comfortable doing that by themselves. They're already level 58. This is pretty much an in-game account, right? This is in-game ready. They do spend on the game. They have the monthly battle pass as well as the actual monthly, or not monthly battle pass, but the battle pass and then the monthly. Currently, they have 3 teams, 2 attack teams, and 1 anomaly team that they're focusing on. The main team they use is going to be Evelyn's premier team. Evelyn, Lighter, Astra, very strong team, strongest attack team in the game right now at this current state of me recording this. Second team, Ellen, Lycan, and Sokaku. This is like a day one early game team. So we could probably work on this too, but ideally, I think what we're going to end up doing is replacing the Seed, or using Seed Orphe Trigger, as you mentioned, to replace the Evelyn team. But you might not want to do that. I don't know. We'll see. Because things that Evelyn is strong to, ideally Seed should be stronger against, but we know how that's not how the game works. Third team is going to be Jane or Yanagi, Yuzuha, and Vivian. The most invested agents on their account are going to be Ellen, Evelyn, Jane, Yuzu, Nagi, and Steed. Oh, and then the 3 things that they would like me to do. They want me to take a look at their trigger, because they'll be working on the Seed Trigger Orphe team during 2.3. Now, the reason why I jumped up Framzo to like do this one now is because I'm also working on Seed Trigger Orphe. So a lot of the thoughts and decisions that I'm probably going to make, they're going to be significantly easier for me to go ahead and tell Framzo what it is that I think he should do based off what he has on his own account, and follow along with that. Second, not sure how I can improve on my Vivian, but she seems to be lacking. So we can also take a look at that, kind of get some ideas, talk to him and see what's going on, what he might want with the Vivian team and whatnot. Lastly, would like some pointers with Ellen, because sometimes I struggle when content isn't ice weak. And unfortunately, we'll still talk about this, but it more than likely is going to be the team, right? Ellen, like in Sokaku, this team worked for her day one. Now for her to use this team and keep up with it, it's a little harder, well, a lot harder, in fact, and you'd probably get away with replacing any of these characters with Astra or using Lighter. Basically replacing the Evelyn on your Evelyn team with Ellen would probably give you significantly better results. But let's get into the account. Let's talk about it. The first thing that we're looking at, I guess, would be the characters, but I don't want to spend a lot of time going over all your characters, right? Because that's not why we're here. We're mainly looking at what it is that you want us to kind of address and whatnot, which would be like building in a seed, trigger, and Orphe. So I feel like that's going to be the first thing that we start off with. So what I'm going to do, you already have this one here, like that's locked and loaded. I can tell you really want to play Ellen. I'm gonna leave that alone. And then you also have squad 3. I'm gonna leave this alone. I'm gonna mess with squad 4 and I'm gonna get rid of squad 5 and 6. So let's look at what we got here, right? We want to play with, and you said Sanby, right? We're going for, am I blind? You don't own Sanby. Oh, you're building seed. I'm stupid. I'm blind. Seed, trigger, and Orphe. All right. So we'll use Lucy in place of Orphe just for the sake of like what we got going on real quick. Actually, I lied. No, we won't, because I can't even activate whatever the passive would be. Let's just use nobody. For now, let's just kind of look at what we have. All right. So we know we got seed and we got trigger. I could put Evelyn there, but I just want a placeholder for now. Like, I'm not going to go into the team or do anything in particular. I just want to like look at what we have. So we're looking at seed. We're preparing her, which is like right now, this is an amazing seed. But here's the thing. You have 2,800 attack. You got a really nasty ass seed, bro. I'm not going to lie to you. Nasty isn't good. Like, this is a damn good seed. Crit rate 77%, crit damage 152%. Just like 10 more crit rate, and then you're jumping up there. Here's what I want you to do though. Do you have Trigger's W engine? You do. Okay, so how much are you willing to invest? Like, and you have M1 seed? Okay. Time out. You M1 trigger? You got to get that M1 trigger. Let's just go over seed. M1 seed is an amazing pickup because for those of you that don't know, let's just go ahead and open it up real quick. Soul recently got M1 seed whenever she came out, which made me looking at M1 seed. So now I was like, do I want M1 seed or M1 trigger? So again, I'm literally looking at the same team. So it's like, it makes a lot of sense. M1, okay, makes seed so much smoother to play. A lot of creators, a lot of players are feeling that seed is clunky to play right now. Seed makes her smooth to play, okay? The indifference that I feel versus what other people feel, and like that's what me and Soul are going to talk about tonight. I think players are trying to play seed incorrectly. I don't think they're trying to play seed the way she wants to be played. I think they're comfortable playing her in like a hyper carry scenario or playing DPSs like hyper carries. So they're trying to make her fit in a mold that she clearly doesn't want to do. And because of that, it feels clunky to them in order to get her out. But there's also the thing, right? Not every character, not every agent is going to click immediately with everyone. Some characters do take a little bit of time to click. Seth was one of those characters. Haramasa was one of those characters, right? Characters that have a little bit more mechanical input to them, that's where it goes. But we'll continue this point here. M1 makes her smoother to play. What this is going to do is it's going to reduces the amount of steel charge it requires for you to do the crash down punch, okay? I don't remember which one. It's downfall, I guess is the name of it. But like crash down punch is when she in the Gundam, she cocks back, lunges in the air, and then comes down. That's the one that you see a lot of people should be using switch tech for in order to maximize that particular move and the animations behind it. So now you're able to do it twice, as well as soon as you start the game or the whatever at the round, she's able to immediately do it. This is what M1 allows her to do. It also increases the damage, the crit damage of this particular move by 30%, essentially giving her a plus 30% crit damage. Again, for that specific move, but still, you get what I'm saying. And then it also reduces the amount of stuff she needs for falling petals and whatever, right? Makes her smoother to play. So having M1 right now is really good because now whenever we do crash down, we're getting 182 crit damage before anything else is applied, before the W engine, before any buffs, before any skill, whatever, right? But having 2,800 attack with pin 5, that's the important part, really good. So there are two things you can do here. You're already getting 25% electric damage, which is good, right? Just from the W engine. Trigger is also giving you not any of the electric damage for her. She's reducing the defense, right? Anytime she hits, which is pretty much permanent, she's reducing the defense by 25%. You have the 4-piece king increasing the crit damage even more. There's another 30% crit damage for your seed. And, you know, potentially Orphe as well, whenever she comes out. Orphe is also increasing. I think she increases both crits, if I'm not mistaken, but I'll go back and double check that. Don't quote me on that. If you guys know the exact thing that she increases, I know it's attack. I know Orphe increases attack, and I know she increases crit something. I know she does both crits though. It's either she gives herself a ton of crit rate and then she gives the team crit damage, or she gives both. But I know it's something like that, right? But Orphe's going to be doing that for herself. So when you're looking at this particular team and how to build up for it, here's the key thing. Orphe buffs Aftershock. Okay, Orphe is attack and res shred for aftershock. She gives herself crit damage, if I'm remembering correctly. Crit damage. Okay, so then she gives the team crit rate. I'm telling you, it's what she gives both. Both crits are in her kit somewhere for her to provide, but maybe that's a CE thingy. I'm not entirely too sure. So the thing about having Orphe on this particular team though, right? Seed isn't an aftershock character, and I don't think any of her mindscapes, did they keep that in here? Yeah, no, they didn't. Okay, so they didn't even make it so that her mindscapes turn her moves into aftershocks. They didn't do that. In the previous beta, Seed had aftershock damage or aftershock attacks. They counted, similar to how Ambi has them on the field. They counted for her that way. So yeah, they removed it. So now what's going to end up happening is you're going to be using Seed as your main DPS. She's going to be able to benefit Orphe, but Orphe won't fully be able to benefit Seed. However, here's what you're going to be working your way up towards. Now, this isn't, Kataya and I actually had a conversation about this, and I'm a big fan of DPS trigger, like making your trigger do as much damage as possible while also stunning whatever's on the field, because she's going to do it anyway. I'm a big fan of that because it's passive damage. You don't have to do anything special. You're not even controlling the character for the most part. It's just good passive damage. But with Seed, and we'll just say that Yuzu is Orphe for the sake of this, right? With both DPSs on the same team, Trigger's passive damage is very minuscule. It's like 5 to 15% worth of the team's total damage output. So it kind of doesn't matter, but it looks nice. Now, if we're talking about optimizing everything here, right? You already have a strong amount of crit rate. I think all you need is 75% crit rate, and then you're good to go. You can pump the rest into attack or crit damage, things like that, right? Skills, basic attack, already, yeah, you're golden on this trigger, but you really putting in work for this team. God dang. Anyhow, you could get away. You definitely want better pieces for sure. This is the first thing that I would be looking at. You really want some better pieces here. This is a great piece for you. I wouldn't even bother like trying to change this piece. Leave it alone. You could go 4-piece shadow. I wouldn't. You don't need it. He needs that M1 trigger. Okay, low key, if you wanted to spend a little bit of bread, M1 trigger would do you phenomenal. I'm not gonna lie to you. The stun damage multiplier increases, right? She already gives you, isn't it 30%, right guys? Is it 30% or is it 35%? Let me double check. 35% right here is what she's gonna be doing for you. And then you're also gonna get, if you happen to get that M1 plus 20, it's a 55%. But yeah, so M1 would help you out a lot, Frame, if you really wanted to. I wouldn't break the bank on M1 though, if you already are committed to M3 Orphe. Like if you know you want M3 Orphe, wouldn't break the bank on that, but helps you out a lot, and it reduces the amount of crit rate that you would need to trigger everything for your trigger. Regardless of that, trigger is okay where she is right now. Your trigger is like spot on. All right, more offensive stats would be perfect if you wanted to go that route, but let's talk about the fact that you have the W engine, and let me double check. I'm trying to remember what I read in CE server because it's slightly different than what was in the beta from when I saw that. Orphe reduces, is it just straight up defense? Whenever she uses her EX skill, she just reduces the defense of the enemies and it stacks twice? Or is it does she reduce fire res of the enemy? Like it's fire shred or something like that. I don't fully remember what it is because I typically try my best not to look at any information that's not like set in stone, because it doesn't help me make a guide at all or even think about what it is that I want to do. But I know she reduces the defense of something. Point being, and why that point is to essentially say you would probably be better off here with either electric damage bonus for 5 or attack over your pin. If I were going to be focused on your Seed, I would be looking at either attack percent or electric damage right here for you, right? Just to increase that. If you did decide to go attack percent, it will bump you up over 3,000. But what I've been slowly learning about like how the elemental percentages work for the disc, you would get more overall damage output if you had an elect 5, and it's a certain number. I think once the damage bonus reaches plus 100%, I think that's the soft cutoff point where you can start investing into attack percent, but I could be wrong on that. Would WP be a better 2 set to cap the crit rate? Woodpecker? You could, but now we're looking at if the Woodpecker pieces are better, right? Because like, look at this, +1 in crit rate, +2 in crit damage, and then you're also getting a +16 crit damage here. It would have to be better. Pin ratio, now this could work out, right? Like let's look at it, let's see if you have any. Your Ellen has a decent pin ratio, attack percent, but you don't have a lot going for it. Another pin, another fire damage bonus. You could probably keep this for baby girl Orphe, and then another, yeah, you could keep this for baby girl Orphe if you really wanted to like push crit rate, but she gives herself so much crit rate, you really just don't need it. You really don't need that at all. And you could also go for some attack, but I don't really think you would have it. Attack percent here, yeah, okay, yeah, that one could work out for you too, but I wouldn't rob them of those characters. So it's okay to not have it right now, but this is what you should be farming for, right? Ideally, What you're looking for is that 85% crit rate. This is gonna guarantee every punch she does, crit, guaranteed. You don't need the pin ratio, but it's okay to have it right now. I wouldn't stress about it, right? Just passively go about and do it. What I will say though, and this goes for anyone, I said this yesterday, any one of you that's, if you spend $5 on the game, you're basically like a light spender or whatever you want to call it, come into the store, buy this. All 6 of these, buy these. From what I was told, these will reset every patch. This is gonna reset. You guys buy this up. These Victorian housekeeping things, 5 free runs. Well, I guess it's not free because you're spending money to get it, but don't have to play the game runs for disk drives. 30 runs, 30 disk drive runs for 1,800 monochrome. What is that? Monochrome, 1,800, 15 bucks, 28 bucks, something like that. $35 a month. If you're buying the monthly or the battle pass plus this, 30, 40 bucks a month. You can afford that. You can afford that. I know it is. This is the definition of pay to win. Fuck it. Hey, you pay to win. No one else is on your account but you. Pay to win. Pay to win at your own account. Yes, absolutely. I'm 100% in favor of that. Put more of this shit in the game. Put more of that shit in the game. Regardless, going back into your seed, dog. All right, going back into your seed. This is a good piece. All right, I wouldn't really bother with this for the most part. What is this, +6 in subsets or +5 in subsets, something like that? Decent piece. I would replace this one if you can, right? +3 is a great piece. Wouldn't even bother replacing it until you find a better one. Okay piece. I don't think we have a better one than this. Crit rate, attack, flat attack, and then crit damage. Okay, +2 in the crit damage. If you can find one with attack percent, I'd replace it. But for now, it's okay. Pin ratio, +2 in attack percent. Did we have another one? We had a lot of pin ratios. It's okay. This is gonna bump you up to like 97% crit rate, which is fine. Crit damage being here, your pin ratio being here, and you have the M1 seed. This seed is great, okay? You don't have to stress about your seed at all. Let's go ahead and prepare. Like I said, the trigger is also really good. So now what you want something that's gonna help you with your, I think you have everyone built though. Soldier. All right, I'm gonna use soldier as a temporary for what you got going on for your Orphe, all right? So let's look at your soldier, which would be your Orphe, okay? We'll go straight to the equipment. And I think you were already doing this. Now that I look at it, you were already doing this. Attack percent right here, which is good. Now I got some new information, some new math yesterday from my boy Gold Demon, but I was under the impression that more ER would do better for Orphe. There's a cutoff point because like once you hit that cap for her, nothing else matters. Like adding more does not help. So I think he mentioned that a 2-piece ER is all you need, especially if you're going for a weapon. If you're going for Mindscapes, it's even a less of a requirement, and you might be able to just drop the whatchamacallit all together. So let's look at what we have right here. We're looking for attack percent, crit damage is okay, crit damage, double crit. We could probably get away with that. She's gonna give herself a lot of attack. Do we have anything here? Oh, if this one was for the piece, oh man. If this electric damage bonus was for the piece, the other piece, that would have been perfect. Attack percent here, attack percent here. That's what you need to farm. I think if you're already going to be farming for better pieces for baby girl, which are going to be this one here, your Dawn's Bloom, you can passively get Moonlight because it doesn't look like you have any swing jazz either, right? You have these 2 for swing jazz, but these are already locked down on your other characters and they're not really being used. I guess you could take the one from Billy, but I wouldn't do that. You could get away with this one. This one rolled pretty good. +1 in crit damage. It already has the attack percent. If you can double down on this, boom and boom, you can be okay. This one here, I would go attack percent. You don't really need fire damage bonus from what I was reading with Orphe. And you're going for a W engine and M3. She's gonna give herself a lot of damage bonus. They don't really need that. I would go attack percent. Find yourself a good attack percent for the 5, call it a day. And it doesn't look like you have any attack percent on the Shadow Harmony either. Crit rate, attack percent, +2 crit rate. Ooh, +3 attack percent and a flat attack. +3 crit rate, okay, that's fine. Crit damage, attack percent AP, okay. Attack percent, crit damage, +2 crit rate. Okay, yeah, you got a lot of good crit damage +3, nice. We're gonna take this one though. Excuse me, this one though. Ooh, I ain't seen a +4 crit rate before. Damn, you got, yeah, keep that, buddy. You got lucky on that one. God dang, dog. That's kind of nice. That's kind of nice. I'm not gonna hold you, but that's a good piece. That's a real good piece right there, big dog. Okay, so let's rack up her math or her crit rate real quick. This one I can actually look at for you. I'm looking for the math real quick. That way we have like exactly what's going on here. Yeah, she gives herself a lot of fire damage. Increase her crit by 25%. Yup. And then the aftershock damage increased by 85%, which is a big reason why you don't need the fire damage bonus. The 25% from just her base. Her weapon also gives her. Yep. And then, okay, so 20%. That's what I was looking for. 20% plus the 25%. That's gonna be 45% plus the base 5%. That's 50% already that you already have. That's 2.4. That's 2. That's 52%. This is going to be 52, 62, 66. Another 7. That's going to be 73, 74, 74. No crit here. No crit here. Are there any other places that you're grabbing crit rate? Let me check her mindscapes. Nothing from her mindscapes. All right. You should almost never put anything but elemental bonuses on pin or pin on slot 5 because you're supposed to be capping out on damage through substats. Yeah, but not everybody's going to be able to do that. Like, so you have to, at least what I'm trying to do is give them different options. But in this particular case with Orphe, you should be able to see it too. Because I also asked the same thing that you're talking about with the damage percent 5. He mentioned that you're gonna you overcap it, like you don't need it. She gives herself too much, and that her attack matters. So you'd want to pump that even more. Aftershock she deals, ignores 15%. Yeah, okay, so fire damage, her specifically. So at this point, you're operating just off of Orphe. Like Orphe is pretty much going to be her own thing. She'll passively buff the other Proceed, but you're going to be operating mostly off of just Orphe. Zeroed in, let me just double check that zeroed in is not going to only apply Aftershock. The additional ability though only applies to, okay, so you'll get the buffs from zeroed in, but you won't get the defense ignore. So with using this team in particular, you're not gonna get it, but you want either attack, you don't want pin on her though. Pin plus trigger, your trigger W engine, and then with her W engine, which will be Orphe's, and then Orphe's kit and her mindscapes, you're gonna be pushing like 60-70% defense ignore. I'm pretty positive that's past the cap for what you want if you add pin. So pin would not be good for what you're going for in particular. I think you want more crit. This piece would be really good if you went like attack percent, but I mean this +3 attack percent is just, I like it a lot. I'm not gonna hold you, I really like that one. This one is good actually. I would probably replace this. I would do it this way. This would help you get to that 100%. And then this last piece right here, if you can get these two pieces with attack percent and crit rate, you'll be solid. Maybe find a better one here, a better attack percent that still rolls into +2 crit, but then you get a crit damage on top of that. I also don't believe, because again, you're going for like pretty much fully decked out Orphe. You don't need ER6 either. Oh wait, no, I guess you do. I lied. Demon says you want it. So you want an ER. Find a good ER then. Why wouldn't you? Because I misread what he was telling me, and so he did all the math for me as far as like the base ER she gets, because she has more ER than other characters. He did the base math for that, plus all of the mindscape stuff or the W engine stuff, and he said that you're gonna overcap to the point where you wouldn't want anything extra. So I misread that, and I read that you want attack 6, but it's attack 5, crit 4, attack 5, ER 6. Yeah, dude, I hate calcs, man. Like. That's why I just get other people to do the calcs whenever I can't stand calcs, man. But you'd want an ER, which I mean, this is kind of like the same thing, right? You replace this one here. If this rolls in a crit and like one more attack percent. All right, we're not gonna worry about it. I'm not even, I have horrible luck. I'm not rolling your shit. I'm not rolling your shit, but you kind of get where we're going. I would do this. Is Shadow Harmony the set for Orphe? Shadow Harmony is going to be the set for Orphe. Everything that she does, that she cares about, is going to be, shit, I forgot about the fucking, what is this? 4, 8, 12% from the, you might be good actually. 55, the 12% from the Shadow Harmony, 67. We were like 80 something percent earlier. Yeah, you're good. I wouldn't even like stress on crit rate right here. If you get like another crit substat, it's fine. Focus on the crit damage and attack percents then after this point with Shadow Harmony in mind. You're good. You are absolutely good here. All right, bet. So this is what I would focus on, right, Frame? I would focus on that. Obviously, you wouldn't be using this when you use Mercury, which you'll go and pull Mercury on your own, but you get what I'm saying. That's what I would focus on. Now, there are a couple things that you might have to deal with when it comes to this, is like just playing it, which I don't think anyone has access to this information right now, but it's gonna be like capitalizing on who's buffing who, when, and why. That's what you're aiming for. But we can move on beyond this point, right? Because we talked about this. The second thing you wanted to talk about was looking at your Vivian, right? Yeah, looking at your Vivian on how to improve the Vivian. So this is, funnily enough, this is like Nyx's alley. So he's either going to correct me on some shit or he's going to let you suffer. 2400 attack, AM is 200, and then AP is 431. I do believe that her AP being over 400 is usually good. That's usually what people tell me is like, that's a positive for your Jane. I'd say you want more attack, but you have Yuzu. M2, brother. Yeah, we're not focusing on that Jane no more. All right, 3K attack basically with your Vivian, almost 400 AP, and then 198 AM. Why do you think she's lacking again? Like maybe Frame, maybe there's something that I'm not aware of, right? What's happening? What's happening here? Because the only thing you'd be missing is her W engine, but to be honest, you don't need it. It'd be great, like that's a big buff, right? But you don't need it. Could be skill issue. If you can, whenever I get off of your account, just play the team. Play the team and show me what you got. You get like 47K on Fiend this rotation. This one, right? What are you getting before? It could also just be, let me just double check. Increases damage, da 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 da. After inflicting an anomaly, defense decreases, further decreases by 25. It's a really good buff. That's the normal buff. Okay. Bonus anomaly damage, 7600. I don't want to say skill issue. Are you aiming for a kill? I feel like you're not aiming for the kill, right? You're not aiming for the kill. You can. All right. I have a really interesting chat. Help me out here. I don't want to make a silly suggestion, but this is just kind of like in my brain. You have M2 Yuzu and her W engine. Couldn't you just swing this into Yuzu's buff in the Jane, replace the AM, and then run attack percent? And then wouldn't it build up the same way anyway? Because do you hit ICD? I feel like you hit ICD, but maybe you don't. And I'm not super sure on that one. You've thought about it? I'm thinking about it. You do hit ICD? Okay. I think maybe that would help you with damage, but, and this is like the experimentation thing, right? Jane's build up is dog shit, so she wants the AM plus everything else. I guess at that point it would just be attack percent if you're gonna go that way. You want attack and AP. Like, cause even my Jane, right? That's why I don't play my Jane. Until my Jane has better pieces, her AP is just not up to snuff. Double crit AP, that's a good piece. I see why you locked it. This is a really good piece for her. You should lock this. +3 attack, +1 AP, that's good. +3 AP, decent piece. +1 attack, no AP and crit. +2 attack, +1 AP. +3 AP, no attack. I feel like this one is better, no? Let me try this. Let's put this on her real quick. Who you saving this one for, bro? Who you saving this one for? That's funny. That's a funny piece right there. Who you saving that for? AP. Ah, man. Like you, frick. You have a Fang Metal down here? I don't think you have another Fang Metal. I think you should try a different two-piece. But you just need better stats. Your Jane is in the same position that my Jane's in. Your Jane build is better than mine as far as like the AP goes. We just changed this, so now you have more attack, a little bit more attack, but I think you just need more attack, better stats. You can try AP two-piece to the mine I go. Well, that's, how do I put it? It's up to you, right? Like, and then we did talk about the pay to win thing earlier. It's like 30 free runs. Those even just doing 5 free runs or 5 other runs with the Victorian housemate tickets, even doing 5 of those will give you enough to go back to the Bardic Needle and kind of like fish for a single piece or a second piece, things like that, right? That's probably what I would do. Your final team though, what we're looking at for the final thing here would be where we at, the Ellen stuff. Like I told you before, I really just think, I think you just swap out Evelyn. You already have it here, right? So whenever you're not playing Eve, you just play the Ellen. You have M0, M1, M0. Okay, so M0, 68%, 2900 attack, 171 crit damage with pin ratio. Not bad at all. Like you're gonna be getting a lot of the ice damage bonus from Lighter. She gives herself plus 100 crit damage. That's 271 crit damage before anybody else's stuff is applied. Maxed out, really good. 4-piece woodpecker. 4-piece woodpecker's good. 2-piece on the branching blade, nice. What you could do, because she's gonna give herself so much crit damage, you probably could get away. I mean, this one has that +3. God damn, this is a really good piece, bro. It's a perfect piece for you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I wouldn't swap that out unless you get one that's better. It's gonna be really hard. I would run. Ooh, that one's good too. But like, I would swap it for attack if you can run it. If you could find it, +4 defense, yo, you got on that piece. God damn, I would swap this or swap something for attack if you could get away with it, right? The 2-piece, I mean, instead of the 2-piece crit damage, you could get away with the 2-piece attack. Just because she's gonna give herself so much of this crit damage anyway. This one's okay here. +1, 1, 1, +2. You can get a better one there. This one's okay. Decent. Yeah, decent. There it is. Your Evelyn has it. Yeah, that's a damn good piece. Oh my gosh. Let's see. And your Evelyn has something down here too. Ooh, okay, wait. So what if, does your Evelyn have woodpecker? He doesn't, but you do have that. So like, and then you have this one here, +2 crit rate, +1 attack. If you find a good piece to replace it, I would leave Ellen on 4-piece woodpecker. You could try 2-piece hormone. Let me just, because you're gonna lose a lot right here. I'm just gonna borrow the Evelyn piece so that we know where it came from. I just want to see what would happen. 3,100, 155, 75 crit rate. This 75 jumps up to 95 because you have her W engine. I like this build a lot more personally. You're not losing too much crit damage. You go over that 3K attack and you're just under 100% crit rate. This would be a build that I like. I'm going to give your pieces back to Evelyn though. This will be a build that I like. And we're running this with Lighter as well. Good. Lighter has that 50% crit rate. King of the Summit. That's even more crit damage for your Evelyn. Do we have our Sig? We don't. We have Kaboom. So we're getting a huge attack. Astral as well. Big attack increase. What are you at? Like 4K? 3,300 attack. You probably don't even need this. You can get rid of this. These two pieces right here, I guarantee you can get rid of that. You keep your 3K attack, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I wouldn't stress about it. Would not stress about it at all. Also M0. Okay. Run this instead. Like I said, I'm going to put your pieces back, but run this. Your performance with your Ellen, instead of using Lycan Sokaku, it should be this. There we go. Yeah, see, and look at that, right? When you swapped over to the Evelyn pieces, your crit rate increased and your attack increased. Like you traded off the crit damage, but I mean, like I said, she gives herself so much crit damage anyway that you're kind of chilling. That would really be it, depending on what you do frame, right? Because like you have, I'm going to ask Eric Khan to look into it. I'll look into it as well. So you can kind of like update inside of that thread. So we can talk throughout the week and figure out what's going on. I kind of want to see what you do, or like if you get lucky with a lot of your pulls. You don't really need to worry about skills. You don't have to worry about like your levels, like everything as far as like building the actual character is fine. It's just disk drives at this point. Yeah, and then Lighter also gives that crit damage from the King of the Summit, exactly. So I think in the event you want to play like whatever it is, right? So like let's say that you're going through Deadly Assault because you need 3 teams. So we have Defiler here, right? Who's going to be your Electric Week boss. You play your Seed, you play your Trigger, and then, you know, Orphe when she comes out. Or if you want to kill this before, obviously you're doing it right now, you play Haramasa. The second one here, you already have the Anomaly team with your Ether. You're playing Jane, you're playing Yuzu, and you're playing Vivian. And also, what's interesting, now that I look at the positioning, you're already swinging it into Jane anyway. You're already swinging Yuzu's buff into Jane. Try it where you swing it from Yuzu into Vivian for this particular fight. See if that works. But I'm just gonna like point him out real quick because he's in here. I know he's not a content creator, but he's like the best Jane Vivian that I know personally. I'm sure there might be others out there, but literally Nyx. I'm not opening the door for you to ask him these questions, but I am saying if you happen to find him playing Jane and Vivian on his Twitter, then you could probably get some inspiration or ideas on how to make them stronger, because he wipes mobs and shit like that really fast with that particular team. He also plays Vivian differently than most. I want to say it's more effective, to be completely honest, but that's a him thing, not me. And then the last one, Miasma Priest, right? Which is Evelyn. So this one here, you're pretty much good to go, yeah? It's weak to Ether, but she's neutral because this is Evelyn. She kind of doesn't care about anything, and you wouldn't use this against Ice. So there should never be a point where you need to use the Evelyn team and you need to use the Ellen team in Deadly Assault in particular. You're good. You don't have to use both, right? Electric. We're going through like a whole electric phase right now. Fire, electric. We're not going to get a fire and ice, right? Like, look, we're resistant to fire, weak to ice. So this one, you could literally go through here, replace Evelyn with Ellen, and then you could still play your Ellen comp, right? So I think the teams that you decided to invest into are really strong teams, especially for what you got going on. You're heavily investing into the Seed team. I'm assuming Seed is going to be your favorite. So then you already have the M1 Seed. If you can get it, M1 Trigger, and you're going for the M3 Orphe. If you can't get M1 Trigger, like, and when I say like if you can get it, throw like a couple, right? Like 30, 40 pulls if you can spare that. And if you get her, awesome. If you don't, I would save the rest for M3 Orphe, because that's going to help you out anyway. M0 Trigger with her engine is still going to be phenomenal for your team. So you don't need M1. M1 just makes it easier for you to operate a more damaging trigger, and then she helps the team, especially with the aftershocks for Orphe in particular. Eventually, if you want to run Sanbi, then all 3 of them will benefit, right? I think what's going to happen in the future, even though Seed and Orphe will be a strong team, that's kind of why I disagreed with when Prywin said it. Prywin was like, oh, when Orphe gets here, Seed is going to jump up to like tier 0.5 undoubtedly. And I'm like, I don't think that's really going to be the case. Like, I think, yeah, she'll see a damage performance increase, but I don't think it'll be on the same caliber. If anyone was gonna jump up, it'll be Sanbi. Like, if anyone jumps up a tier, it would be Sanbi when Orphe gets here. But both of them, I don't expect both of them to jump up. So we'll see what happens with that. Your Jane team, we already talked about that. You have M2 Yuzu, so you're pretty much good on that. Vivian is pretty strong so far. Just like, it's really like little pieces, right? Kate has a recent video that he put out, really good video, that goes over effective substats, which is something that I also recently really started giving a fuck about. Before, I didn't really pay attention to like what was an effective substat versus me just having good stats. And it really does matter. It really does matter. I'm pulling up the Hoyo app right now so you can kind of see an idea of what I'm talking about. I'm going to show my seed, right? I'm going to zoom in for a little bit so y'all can kind of see like what's going on. You see how it says effective substacks are like 28 or something like that? Like how many times I got effectives? So that's my seed. I'll show the build here in just a moment. My Sandby though, my Sandby's effective substats is damn near 40. It's 36 if we're looking for an exact number. It's damn near 40, right? My Sandby at M0, based off we're talking about like effective substats, very well rounded out, very, very strong build for that particular character, right? Now let me go ahead and pull this up so y'all can see this in the game. Here we go. Like I said, I'm going to show you guys my seed and then we'll show you the Sandby as well, right? So remember, seed had effective substats like 28. If there's a way to turn it on, if anybody knows though, by the way, to turn it on, how to turn it on the website, by all means, let me know, but I couldn't see it. I don't know where it is, but you see, right? My attack is 2,600. So a little closer to yours, right? You had 2,800. I'm like 200 minus. My crit rate is 84.2%, almost at, 100%, right? 84.5 or rather 85%, 0.8% would give me 85% crit rate, right? So this is like really close. My crit damage is 131 and I'm rocking an electric attack bonus, right? Electric damage bonus. And so I still only have 28 effective subs. We come over to my seed or my Sandby. I'm still going to get those confused. 3,500 attack, 56% crit rate, 203% crit damage. And I'm still not even done building her, right? Like I'm still looking to get this crit rate up to like 65. I want this crit damage to be around 220 if I can manage that. But with all of the different, like Trigger's going to have either Astro Voice or she's going to have the King of the Summit. That's going to increase one or the other. Probably going to be able to increase my crit damage bonus if I run King of the Summit. But you kind of get an idea of what I'm going for, right? And then she's not rocking an electric damage bonus, right? If I lowered that and gave her an electric damage bonus, then it would probably be like 3,200, 3,300 for the attack. But I do have her signature W engine. So I'm just combining everything that's happening here on top of what we got going on, right? But that's something that Kate talks about in his video about like the effective substats and like why those are so important and how they dictate whether or not you're going to have like a stronger or weaker build. So that's why I'm saying like your seed is fine. Obviously you want to work on like 1 or 2 disk drives. Yeah. We already talked about the Orphe build. So when you're farming for seed, you're also farming for Orphe. So you're good off that. Because of Moonlight Blessing, what's going to happen is your Moonlight is also going to be able to work out for your Yuzu, right? Because Moonlight is now her best in slot. So you can passively farm for Moonlight and give it to your Yuzu. So you're effectively farming for everybody. Astra is going to keep her Astral Voice. Lighter and Astra, you don't have to touch them on them. They're fine. And then your Evelyn, already strong, right? Ellen, swap out those 2 discs with Evelyn or farm for them. You don't really have to because you're never going to be playing both at the same time. So just swap the disc and then they'll be able to output whatever damage they want. If you want to continue playing these particular characters, not so much Evelyn, but it does help her out. I'm specifically talking about Ellen and Jane. In Jane's case, getting M2 Jane, we just talked about this yesterday. Chat just told me about this, the math behind it. 64% damage increase, a DPS increase just by getting M2 Jane. So if this is the team that you want to play for your anomaly team, Jane, Yuzu, and Vivian, work on getting an M2 Jane when she rolls around the corner. This is only under the tense or the pretense that like you care about vertical investment and you want to continue to play whatever it is that you're playing. Anomaly is the best case scenario for not needing as much vertical investment. And it's usually attackers that need more vertical investment, but doing vertical investment on anything helps the longevity of you being able to use them throughout the entire meta. Ellen, M2 Ellen makes her significantly, same thing with M1 Seed, right? It just makes her more comfortable and easier to play. It's not so much a damage increase as direct damage increase because now you can play her a lot more comfortably. She's easier to play and it's easier for you to get off certain things. Mix in the anomaly with her M2, the Shark Nami that she has with the slices around, she goes underground, things like that. So there's just a couple different advantages, but work on it one at a time, right? Just one at a time. For all you know, you're probably, because I think someone asked us earlier about Rupture coming into the field for the next meta. For all you know, you're going to end up replacing Ellen with Yidhari. You just really like Yidhari, right? And you end up picking up Yidhari. You already have Lighter. And then you replace Astra with, what's that girl's name? Lucia. And now instead of playing Ellen, you're playing Yidhari for your Ice DPS. And she's Rupture, which is going to keep you in the meta for the upcoming current meta of Rupture, right? So like then you'll have attack, 2 attacks, you'll have 1 rupture, 1 really strong rupture, and then a strong anomaly, and you'll be good to go. That's what I would like round that off as, but I feel like we're pretty solid. Anything else you wanted me to look at, Frame, or kind of like go over? Now peep your Nagi, I got you. 308, 2800, 148, okay. And 48%, god damn, boy. You got fusion compiler, don't you? Yeah, fusion compiler, I like that, I like that. 4-piece thunder, okay. +1 attack, +1 AP. Lighter doesn't work with a rupture. All right, never mind. Take them out. R5. God damn, R5 fusion. This is a really good piece. A really good piece right here. Pin ratio with the crit. If you get attack percent and AP on this piece, it'll be another really good piece. Attack percent, 1 AP plus pin. This is okay. You get more AP on here, you'll be good. +1, +1, +2, +1. This is okay. If that would have been like all +3 into the attack percent roll, that'd be really good. But this is good for now. So like, yeah, same thing, right? Just passively work on replacing the disk drives with poor substats. I didn't even notice the M3. Oh man, I didn't even notice the M3, bro. M3 is nice. Passively work on that, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Like, I get it. You're playing Jane, right? You're look. I see you're playing Jane. I get it. I get it. But what if, what if, right? What if you just did this? Thoughts? I'm gonna let you change it back. I'm gonna let you change it back to what you want to do, right? But like thoughts, you could just do this. You could just do this. Cause do you have Rena? I don't think you have Rena, right? You do, but she not leveled up. You could be rocking Rena. You got the Seth. Like let Zenahorn tell you, bro. He gonna tell it to you, but it is what it is. I'm gonna change it back for you and you're good to go. But I like that, dude. Great little thing. Great little sesh we had right there going on. That was pretty cool, man. That was pretty cool. Let me get off of your account. Very impressive, very impressive. Yeah, little bits of work, little tiny pieces, but I like seeing that. I like when I can see like you're already invested into the characters and you know a rough idea what you want to do anyway. Really good.